When I got to my university, there was somebody waiting. My room was already prepared.
Wow.
And so there was, I would basically say, most of universities have a student support system.
Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel, The Rajore Clan. So if you're new here, this is The Rajore Clan. I relocated to Germany with my 2 kids and my husband. I got a job at a company called Zalando. They relocated me all the way from Kenya to Germany. And we've been telling people how you can also be relocated. It's not a must for you to learn the language before you come. It's not a must for you to study in German schools, but you can be relocated if you're an expert in the field that you are in. So why are we doing this? We're encouraging people that it's possible and telling people our story and telling people how it's possible to also relocate from anywhere you are in the world. But today we have a special guest who came here in Germany to study, and she came with a son. She relocated. She was able to get an education, to get admitted in the German system. She did not also learn the language. She's now starting to learn the language. She came here and she was admitted in an English-speaking university, and she came with her son to do her master's. She already did her degree. She was coming here to do her master's. She's actually finished her master's, and she's here to tell us the story, how she came, how she endured life here with her son, how she finished her studies, and now how she's looking for a job and where she's working right now. So welcome, and hope you enjoy and hope you get notes. Take notes if you want to come here and relocate as a student, and if you have a child, you can also relocate. So welcome, Agatha.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being part of the Rajore Clan, and thank you for coming here once again. So, first of all, Agatha, introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself, your name, where you study.
Okay. My name is Germaine Agata. I did my master's at Hochschule für Wagen University.
So before you did your master's, where did you study? In primary school? Where were you born, so that people can relate to you?
I studied at Lock Girls Primary School, and then I went to Lock Girls High School for 1 year before I went to St. Albert's Orlando Girls High School. Then I proceeded to Dexter University, where I did my undergraduate before I came to Germany to do my master's.
Nice. Interesting. So how did you get this opportunity? Because I know most of people want to actually also get this opportunity. So how did you come across it? Did you hear it from a friend? Were you interested to come here in Germany? How was your process?
To be honest, I really don't think I was interested to come to Germany. Because one of the language barrier, and also the assumption that some of the top universities, when it comes to humanities and social sciences, most of them are from English-speaking countries. Germany is mainly known for mostly engineering and pharmaceuticals and all that. So my first choice was Australia. So once I finished my undergraduate, I did an internship at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then after that, I tried getting a job in Kenya. I did not. And then at the same time, I became a parent. So I was looking for an opportunity to diversify my academic background, and in my field of humanities, having a more diverse academic background helps a lot. Also, getting to learn an extra foreign languages, because I'm in the field of international relations, foreign policy, international development was going to be a bonus. So I looked around at countries that I also could afford to study, because I was a parent, and things like childcare, all that had to come into play, school fees and all that. So while making my applications, among all the countries that I made my applications to, I got at least 3 admissions to university in Australia.
Wait,
and
you got 3 admissions?
Yes.
So where did you get this information for you to apply and get admitted?
I used to Google. I will just go Google universities. For example, I did make applications to universities in Australia. I would Google universities in Australia that offer masters in international relations or international development. Then I would get a list of universities. Let's say University of Victoria, University of Melbourne, I would go to the university website, check the faculty of what I wanted to study, check whatever requirements they needed. Then if I met the requirements, I would tender my application.
So no one sent you a link? Oh, there's this link at that university or
No.
at that website. Go apply. There's this university. I know a friend of a friend who does this. Go. No one. You got no referral at all. It was your own doing.
I didn't get any referral.
Interesting.
Yes, but at some point when I was talking to some of my friends from my undergraduate, there were those who were studying in Australia, and they gave me an option of using an agent to get universities in Australia.
Talking of agents, did
Yes.
you use them?
I went for a consultation to one of them. And
Did you pay for this consultation?
No, I did not. It was actually a free consultation.
Interesting.
And they told me what was needed and how much it would cost and all that. And then when I went back home, looked at the costs, then I would go to the internet again, back to Google, check at childcare cost, rental cost to the cities that were hosting universities that had the course that I wanted to study.
Okay.
And I had to check all that, look at schools, look at everything that would affect my life, because one, I was moving if I was to move to that country or whatever city I was going to move to, I was moving as a parent first,
Yes.
then second as a student.
Interesting.
So I had to consider housing, childcare, kindergarten opportunities, and if I could afford, because I was also moving on a budget.
Meaning all these things, the agent would have done it for you, but you opted to do it for yourself and research it on your own.
The agent would have probably only helped me with admission. And most of the agents, the ones whom I spoke to, and this is specifically for Australia, they were like, you have to leave your child behind first, you go, and that wasn't an option for me.
Interesting.
Yes.
So that's why you kind of settled for Germany.
No, I got an admission to Norway. By the time I got my admission to Norway, I was also considering, as much as I was moving abroad to diversify my academic background, I was also looking for countries that would also be easier for me to sort of be able to get a job part-time as a student, to be able to complement my savings that I was
For the blocked
with.
account.
Yeah, but Norway also has a blocked account.
So
I would say most countries in Western Europe have the blocked account system.
great. Talking
Yes.
of blocked account,
Yes.
tell us the requirements that are needed when applying for these opportunities.
For a
For the
blocked
course.
For the
So
course.
before you apply for the course and even get an admission, what are the requirements? What are the requirements for this particular course that you got, like the one you got in Germany when you finished?
Yes.
So what were the requirements they needed for you to be able to get this admission?
It differs from university to university. For some universities, they're going to ask you for an English comprehension test, IELTS and TOEFL and all the others. But most countries have exempted Kenya from English tests. But again, it differs from university to university.
So they want English test.
Yeah.
What else?
Definitely your undergraduate certificates,
You have
and
to-
again
you
different
have to have graduated
to
in
have
Kenya.
graduated in Kenya. But again, each university is different because some are going to ask for. I went to Daystar, which has the American system, so some would consider GPAs. For the Kenyan education system,
So, what is the name of the university that you are in here in Germany?
I am at Hochschule Furtwangen University in Baden-Württemberg.
So, what are the requirements they needed for you to qualify for the course?
An undergraduate degree in the field of social sciences, because I was going to do a master's still in the same field. A research paper from my previous works.
Transcripts?
Transcripts from my undergraduate, and definitely proof of my undergraduate certificate and KCSE certificate.
Did they need you to verify or certify your degree, your Daystar degree?
Yes, from the Ministry of Education in Kenya.
So, how did they do? They stamped it, or they,
Yes, I think these days when you go to a university, they stamp it for you, pay
the copy,
back then,
photocopy.
photocopy.
So, and how much they need for the blocked account? They needed a blocked account?
This is in 2020. The blocked account back then I think was about 11,000 and a few hundreds. I can't remember.
11,000
exactly.
euros.
Yes.
So that's like 1.6 million Kenyan shillings. That's what they
back
needed.
then, yeah. This was
then.
in 2020.
Yeah. If you can encourage someone who wants to actually apply for the school and get the admission, how was the process for you?
In Germany specifically, Germany and Norway are tuition free for international students in most public institutions, though there's one state in Germany that does charge tuition fee. Most courses in Germany, and let me say most courses in non-English speaking European countries, are offered in the mother tongue of the given country. Mostly in the field of sciences, the courses are always in the mother tongue. So if you want to come and study, let's say mostly undergraduate, one, depending on the country, I'll give an example of Germany because this is where we are at. Know some German. Go to Goethe Institute, learn your German at least up to B2. For me, when I was making applications, I was doing it at the master's level. Masters and PhD, they have more courses in English. So I was taking universities that had the courses that I was applying to, but they offered it in English. And I made applications to about 4 to 5 public universities. And most of the time you are on a waiting list. Yes, because I think there is stiff competition for the few courses that are offered in English from all international students across the world. Yes.
So how long did it take you to be in the waiting list?
I think there's one university in Bremen. I was on the waiting list for almost a year. Yes.
And for this university that you just completed?
The one that I got to now, it was public-private partnership, which means I had to pay tuition fees. And it took me about 8 months to get the admission.
Oh, so it's not a matter of just applying in a few months you're getting.
No,
It
because
takes time.
most universities have, I think, I'm not so sure on this, but most of them have 2 intakes a year maximum. So you have to ensure that your application is during the application season.
Okay, interesting. So after you got the admission, tell us your visa process, because you can get an admission but you cannot leave your country without the visa, without the passport.
Yes.
People ask me, I have a passport, can I come? I don't have a passport, what should I do? So you have to have a passport, you have to have a visa. So how was your process?
So once I got the admission, you get the admission letter. That's the first thing that you get from your university.
So they post it or they email it?
They email it to you, and some also post it to you. So in my case, it was emailed. And once I got it, I went to the German embassy in Nairobi website and looked at all the requirements of what I needed to tender my application for a visa status as a student. My university also guided me on what I needed to, what documents were needed for my visa application, and also considering that I was going to travel with my child. Those were things that were also factored in, from housing to childcare. Yes.
All that you're supposed to have it before you go.
Yes.
And meaning you have to have money in your account to take care of yourself and to take care of your child when you go.
Yes. So among the requirements for the visa application, the first requirement before you even make you go look for a date at the embassy website is to open something called a blocked account. Yes. And so because I was coming with my child, the blocked account takes into account one student, you whom is traveling. But now remember, I was traveling as a parent. So I had to write an email to the German embassy in Nairobi to ask them, I am trying to make a visa application as a student, and I'll be accompanied by my child. What are the financial requirements for this?
And the university knows that you can come with your child?
Yes.
Okay.
This is when I made my applications and the university got back to me, was to let them know that I'm a parent and I was parenting alone. So I was going to be accompanied by my child. So that was something that I had to let all universities that I made applications to know. So that if they're preparing housing, if they're offering hostels and all that, then they factor in that, because most universities do have normal student hostels and also hostels for those who have families.
So people should not be discouraged that they cannot come with their children when they're coming to study.
No. So as long as you have the finances, then you can come as a family to study.
So what kind of finances are you talking about? Because ideally, I think people think that when you come to study in the university, you're fully sponsored. You know, everything is catered for. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Like you said, you're also paying for tuition fee. There's assumption that in Germany, there's free education.
Yes.
So how do you tell people that, how did you get this and it's not free education actually that you got? And you had to pay some amount of money for tuition fee?
Most public universities in Germany are tuition free, but you still pay a semester fee, depending from university to university and state to state. Secondly, if you are still coming to study on tuition-free universities, you still need a blocked account. A blocked account is proof that you can sustain yourself,
which is paying rent, food,
and your other basic necessities that you need during your time to study, and at least to hold you for a period until you sort of get a part-time job as a student.
Meaning these hostels you pay?
Yes, you do pay.
Yes.
There's nothing for free. There's nothing for free anywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no such thing as free lunch. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, and if you're coming with family, unless it's a scholarship, and even scholarships across the world have terms and conditions. There's those that will sponsor you, only you as a student, and if you decide to be accompanied by your family, then you have to meet the financial requirements of the given country for you to get a student visa. Yeah.
It's like for the Africa Commit, it is only sponsoring one person. You cannot come with a child. People keep asking me, can I come with a child? Can I come with a child? For Africa Commit, it's fully sponsored for an individual. They pay everything, rent, food, flight, visa, everything. And that's why I said coming to Germany is free, because there's a specific requirement as compared to you cannot come with another person like a child, because it's only sponsored individual, and there's types of requirement that is needed. Interesting. So, when you got here, the first time you got to Germany, how was it for you? Because I know it's different.
Yeah.
It's a different atmosphere, it's a different environment, different culture. You are here with your child, you're alone. Did you know anyone?
No.
Wow.
I did not know anybody, and what even made it more interesting is that I came here during the Corona period when everything was under lockdown. Actually, even when we were traveling, the priority of Kenyans or anybody who was traveling from Kenya into Germany, it was exclusively for only German citizens or people who have families in Germany or German students. Yeah, because by then everything was closed down.
Wow.
Yes.
So how did you survive? Everything is closed down. So because I know we are not used to ordering things are brought into your doorsteps. Who are like, you have to go and buy it. There's a specific time you go and buy, but here it's total lockdown.
Yeah.
So how was the transition for you?
I would say my university really helped a lot. Okay. Because by the time when I got to the airport, I think the biggest thing again was the language barrier. When I got to the airport, I had my address written of where I was going to, and then my phone had gone off, and I did not even anticipate that I needed what is it called, a converter. Yes, but thank God I had written my university address, so I just showed the taxi guy, and it was on a Saturday morning when I arrived here. So when I got to my university, there was somebody waiting. My room was already prepared, and so there was, I would basically say, most of universities have a student support system, yes, that welcomes you. I think my first funny experience was when I went to the supermarket on the same Saturday that I
Tell me about
arrived.
it.
Yes, and I went to the supermarket, and I think I couldn't get salt. We couldn't get sugar, honey, and sugar also because of the language barrier.
Because of the basic things. Wow, interesting. The small basic things.
I remember I bought some aloe vera liquid thinking it was honey. Yes. Then
There's something we bought in Spain thinking it's oil. We bought vinegar thinking it's oil. Oh my God.
Yeah. But I think for me, why it wasn't such a, should I say, a difficult transition per se, is because when I was still in Kenya, I had googled so much about where I was moving to.
Meaning you researched a lot.
I had researched a lot. I had checked the cost of living. I checked because again I was coming during winter. I had checked stores where I could buy winter clothes for myself or for my child. I actually even went to toy market and bought myself some nice warm jackets and all that.
Nice.
So I had, I would say, once you have done your research, so you anticipate, you know, I will definitely experience language barrier, I will definitely have challenges using the train, learning how to
Tell me about that.
understand the train direction and all that.
So
yes.
how long was the visa valid for? The one you're given in Kenya?
The one you're given in Kenya, I think it's 90 days.
Yeah,
And then
3 months.
once you get here, you have to do your address registration, and then you go and now get your residence permit.
So how long did they give you a resident permit?
For 3 years, because my master's program was for 3 years. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that, how are you maneuvering your child studying, and actually you told us that you're working.
Yes.
That you, as a student, you can work some few hours to also actually help you. You know. So how are you maneuvering that? How did you get that job?
So like I had told you earlier, when I came, it was during the Corona period. It was in September, so it was during Corona period, and everything, all the classes were online, and also getting jobs then was really hard. So I did not work the first 8 months that I was
Fully studying.
Yes. I was doing my classes online, then I would take my child out to the playground when there are no classes. Yeah, so we were just indoors, but supermarkets were open. Yes.
We kind of know in Germany, as a student, you can't work for more than 20 hours. Hours is 20 hours per week. So how are you able to juggle that to get a job? And how actually did you get a job? Because, getting a job, a part-time job and not a full-time job, and also what?
When I started working, it was during the summer holidays, so I did have classes. And I applied job using Indeed.com. They have so many part-time student jobs that don't require the German language for students. There are restaurant jobs, hotel jobs, cleaning jobs. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So they don't require languages?
Yeah, most of them they don't.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Because those are the kind of jobs people are asking us. Can I be relocated? You cannot be relocated. Those are jobs.
Part-time jobs.
Exactly. Those are
Yes.
jobs that students do as part-time. Even though they don't know the language, they do it because they are students here, and actually the government allocates that for them. And Germaine here is a living testimony that you can get those jobs as a student, but not being relocated to come and do such jobs. It's
No.
impossible.
No,
But
that's
as a student, you can.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how are you able to juggle jobs?
School. By then I did not have classes.
Or by
So
then?
yeah, because it was during the summer holidays, so I would drop my child off to kindergarten, work about 6 hours a day. In the evening, go pick my child from kindergarten, go for play dates and make dinner. And every other week, same routine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. So if you want to come and study with your partners and your kids in Germany specifically, one thing that has to be put in mind is when you don't speak the language, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for you to maneuver the government offices and for you to technically do your day-to-day basis. And again, this differs from state to state. In Berlin, you're a little bit likely to survive with English, but in other states, it might be totally different.
Given the bad eye, why don't you know German?
Secondly, ensure your finances are in order, because it will take you a while to get a part-time job. Though if you relocate as a family, the spouse who's not studying is entitled to a work permit. But by the time they get a job to be able to complement on your income, it will take a while. So those are things. I think the first thing to factor in is finances, then language. Yes, and it is possible to come and study with your family. Even if you're going to a tuition-free university, you still need a blocked account. And all the requirements that you will need, if you maybe need to come with your family or spouse, you'll find them at the German embassy website. And if you do not find, because maybe your case is different, because again, cases are different, just write an email to the German embassy. They always respond on time.
And do you have intakes in university right now? Are there intakes?
To be honest, I even can't remember, but when you just go to the university website, you'll see they have their different intakes season. Most of them it's always winter or spring, I think, intakes, yeah.
Interesting. So, in this relocation, did they pay for your visa and your flight, or you paid for it?
No. If you're coming as a student, unless you're on a scholarship, and even not all scholarships will pay for your ticket. Some scholarships are only for tuition fees, others. So again, it depends with your scholarship. But I believe scholarships are an exemption for very, very few people globally who get scholarships to study.
Meaning scholarship is the school fees, not you coming.
No, that's.
It depends.
It depends.
It depends. It depends with what? With the requirements of this school.
Yes. Yes.
So meaning when sometimes when they say scholarship, it's scholarship for the tuition and maybe accommodation, but not you coming all the way.
Yes, but again, I genuinely have no experience with the scholarship case.
Or because you're self-sponsored.
I'm self-sponsored. And most students whom I know, most are self-sponsored. You just make your applications to university and get admission, which means you have to take care of everything on your own.
They just give you an admission.
They just give you an admission. You come, pay your tuition fees, you take care of your food,
just like applying for when you're maybe going to the Nairobi University.
Exactly. It's just the same thing. And again, scholarships are, yes, they're scholarships, but scholarships most of the time are for like people who are really good, first class honors and above. Like, and it's for very few people globally. And they're very competitive.
One was sponsored in our class because she got first class distinction. That's why she was sponsored. Someone studying in Germany. So interesting.
Yes. Here is Blumen for deine Frau.
Hey.
By the
Deine
way,
Frau, deine Kanya. Oh, Jesus is
have you asked Germaine if she speaks Deutsch? Now?
She's so good, aber ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch.
Hey, aber spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Mayo. Nitafika hapo, mimi nitafika hapo na nitapata citizenship. Anyhow. Thank you so much, Germaine, for sharing your story. To Germaine for being here. Thank you for telling us your story, inspiring people that it's possible to relocate and come here to Germany. She's a living testimony, and she's actually telling us her story the second time. We already had an interview with her before, and she's here to still tell us again her story. And thank you for sharing. And if you're inspired, comment, give her love, and make sure you tell her, ask us more questions, and we'll be always asking her and coming back to you guys. So thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome.
And good luck to all parents who still want to further their education. Don't be afraid to take the opportunity. Yes, thank you.
Awesome. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for liking this video. Subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you know someone who wants to relocate to study, whether they have family or not, or their student wants to venture here in Germany, it's possible. If you get that admission, get the right papers. You've been told the requirements you're supposed to have. Get all the requirements that you need. If you have all the requirements, you will get the visa. You will get here in Germany, and it's possible to survive here in Germany. That's why we're bringing these people to tell us their story. We found them here, they have been living here, and it's possible. So if this video was inspiring to you, why don't you click the share button? Why don't you subscribe? Subscription is free. Clicking the button is very free. Share with your friends. Tell your friends to watch. People are relocating, people are sharing our videos, people are getting information faster in these videos, in our videos. So thank you so much for watching. Until next videos, bye bye. Bye bye.